Do amendment, I'll take one of the other ones.
Alrighty, call the meeting of Wyomissing Borough Council to order. Please rise for pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Berkshire.
Here.
Councilmember Stanko. Councilmember Reiner. Here. Councilmember Noble.
Here.
Councilmember Barnett. Here. Councilmember Weinhoff.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here. Okay, for tonight's council meeting, we did have an executive session where personnel matters were discussed. Do we have any public comments this evening?
On agenda items, correct?
Strictly agenda items.
Just shortly,
Please state your name and
Adrian J,
address.
48 Cardinal Road, and just wanted to submit the public comments. There is a mistake in the documents. It's a misunderstanding. In the minutes, it is said that my comments are attached. However, the comments what I submitted last time was the comments that were sent in 2019 opposing the original enactment of that ordinance. And then I spoke by public comments, and these are the public comments from 2024. So that we have two things there, and right now it's a bit, so I respectfully request that we attach the correct public comments together with the other ones. Melissa has the files, it's just for you to approve it. That's it, all for me today, thank you. I will, if you guys need this.
I'm not sure I completely understand what Adrian
Yes.
is looking for, but I would recommend to council, the council approve the minutes as they were submitted with the package for tonight's meeting, but authorize the borough secretary and me to make any adjustment to the attachments to the minutes based on Adrian's concern, so we can
Sure.
sort it out.
Yes, thank you.
Authorize pending adjustment.
I would approve them
Pending
subject to the.
authorization.
Right. Including any attachments.
Do we have any other public comments this evening relative to agenda items? Yes, sir. Please state your name and your address.
John Edwards, Wyomissing Hills, 455 Warwick Drive. Streets and neighborhood safety concerns, and also, what was that I'm looking for? And also, ordinances about public, decent, or cleanliness, I think it's called. Basically, we have a lot, someone's
Is this
been,
on tonight's agenda, sir?
yes. What up?
If it's not on the agenda, then we have to wait till at the end of council
Alright.
meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll get back to you.
No problem.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Have fun listening.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Are there any other public comments for agenda items? Okay, seeing no hands, we will proceed. Okay, there was supposed to be a hearing at 1725 Dauphin Avenue on appeal of notice of violation of the stormwater management ordinance for the Borough of Wyomissing at the request of council, the property owner's attorney, That has been continued until May the 14th, 2024 council meeting. So no action will be taken until then. Okay, in your packet you have for you the March 12th council meeting minutes, and I'll entertain a motion to approve, deny, and amend pending the authorization by our solicitor.
Motion to approve, subject to that caveat. Second.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, consulting engineers report.
Thank you. You have our report for the tasks completed in the month of March. Only things that I would add are the pedestrian bridge is scheduled to be delivered in the next 2 weeks, and then will be open to the public shortly after that. And the 2024 streets program, we had our pre-construction meeting yesterday, and they are slated to start Monday next week. That's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Is the bridge coming like all in one day?
Yes.
And then
One big piece?
Yeah, there's like little end pieces, but for the majority, it's one large piece, yes.
Did you make sure that once you hear, I assume you're gonna hear the date when this
Yeah.
thing's going? Did you make sure Michelle knows so she can notify council?
Yes.
Be pretty impressive to see.
Then have a bridge ceremony.
We had enough ceremony.
Yeah, they bring the
You can't crack champagne bottles over trout.
Can't over the bridge abutments.
Anything else, Chris? Okay. Entertain a motion to accept the engineer's report. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Police chief and mayor's report. Mayor, Chief Phillips.
I have no other comments to make, but the chief will first review the report as usual and then entertain any of your questions.
Good evening, everyone. I'll go over the highlights, and then if you have any questions at the end, just let me know. I'll do my best to answer them for you. For the month of March, we were available for service 3,711 hours. We handled 715 calls for the month. It was a very busy month. Of those 715, 156 were in our business districts and 27 were in our residential communities. Took us an average of 4.54 minutes to arrive on location, and 30.27 minutes was our average time on a call. Training for the month, officers attended the Advanced Homicide Symposium Conference, Trauma for Law Enforcement, Basic Detective School, Standardized Field Sobriety Tests, Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement Testing, and 2024 updates. Those should be done next week. Our Police One Academy training consisted of defensive driving and basic driving techniques. We gave assistance 25 times and received it 16. Some of you may have heard about the missing child within the borough. I'm not gonna go into a lot of depth because it is still an open investigation, but I would just let you know that it has been assigned to a detective. They've done a lot of work with the district attorney's office on trying to get some things done. It's a little tricky in that we do not believe, we're almost 100% certain that this is not something where the child was forced out of the home, the child willingly left. So there's not a crime really here, so it makes investigations difficult, serving search warrants and things like that. Those are for crimes. We've been working with the district attorney on some things that we can do. But it is still an open investigation. Our Detective Anders is assigned it right now, and he's doing something on it almost every day. I spoke about this at Fire and Police, this next one with the DUI checkpoint that we did. I wanted to make sure everybody heard it. It was a very successful night. 419 vehicles were stopped. We had 10 individuals arrested for DUI. Another individual was
arrested for possession of a stolen firearm and possession of narcotics. The request for me to do active shooter presentations has begun. I've done the first one last month in March. I did another one last week that I'll have on next month's report. Gotten a few more that have come in. So this time of year, they come out. So it's something I really enjoy doing. It seems like the public really enjoys that presentation. So I'm going to continue doing it. Gets me out of the office for a couple hours anyway.
DUI checkpoints.
I also wanted to make note here, to make sure that everybody, maybe wasn't at fire and police, hears it, that Officer Kyle Niedermeyer did resign last month, so we wish him well. Traffic stops again are our #1 incident for the month. We handled 47 total crashes. We handed out a total of 348 citations, warnings, and parking tickets. 33 individuals were arrested. We dealt with 3 wanted individuals. There were 28 UCR offenses, which gave us a total of 687 total calls of non-criminal types. The UCR offenses are broken down. I apologize for the top table. I never updated the totals for the year-to-date and cleared year-to-date at the top table, but it's at the bottom table, so we're looking at 90% clearance rate. You can see that where that puts us with the last 4 years. Utilized just under 1,200 gallons of fuel, patrolled just under 10,000, or just over 10,700 miles, rather. And in total, we brought in just over 12.6 in fines and OT reimbursement, things like that. DUI obviously was our #1 incident in which we made the arrest, put in that checkpoint. Saturday was our busiest day, 10 total calls. For the arrest, rather, I'm sorry. Busiest time was tied at the 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening hours. And our busiest day was Friday at 140. Anybody has any questions? I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions for Chief Phillips?
If not, then I would ask one of the members of council to move to approve the report.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the police chief's report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Fire department report.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. For the month of March, we had 80 calls in the borough, a total of 122 responses. That includes the mutual aid. We gave aid 42 times and had, out of that, 28 QRS calls with 12 patient contacts. The staff completed 63 hours worth of training. Our dispatch to en route time, or our turnout time, was 1 minute and 46 seconds with an average personnel count of 4.8 per call. For the first quarter stats, we're at a total of 246 calls for the year, with rescue, EMS, and accidents as our primary response. Well, 246 in the borough, my apologies. 397 for the first quarter. The average turnout time is 1 minute and 52 seconds. There's been 162 inspections completed in the borough, with 25 that were initiated by fire department on calls, citing different types of violations. Training hours for the year-to-date is 309 total training hours. The next chart there on the top shows you the breakdown of the different box areas here in the borough and how many calls we're running in that area. The 3902, which is primarily the commercial side of the borough, is where we spend quite a good amount of our time. Things to kind of put out there: we participated in resiliency exercise sessions with our wellness coordinator 3 times in the month of March. Participated in both of the safety net cooking events, one held at our station and one held here at PD. And then we popped into the Kona Ice pop-up down at the Stone House on the 16th and enjoyed some nice cool refreshments there. We do have some upcoming community engagement opportunities. The 13th will be over at the Wyomissing Walmart for their grand opening of the garden center. The 14th, we have a Cub Scout pack coming to visit the firehouse to earn some of their requirements for their fire safety merit badges. We may stop into the stargazing event on the 19th. The 20th, we're already working on some coordination for the Earth Day Fair. And then we have the Science Fair on the 28th over at the Drexel School.
Very good. Full schedule, I like it.
Very good.
I love it, I love it. Anybody have any questions for Chief Holmes?
I have one question, I don't know who it's for, and it wasn't one here, I think it was probably on the minutes, the monthly, there was like a really high number of no Narcan doses given out. It was like 13.
Yeah, that's on for
It
this
was
month, I
like-
think 17 were
It was like-
administered.
I think it was Western Berkshire, because I don't believe either of our departments
Oh,
administer.
okay.
fire department.
Yeah, that came under
Oh.
Western Berkshire.
Okay, thanks.
One question I have, and I know you're redoing,
Yes.
or working on the reporting software. How difficult is it to give us, include in your monthly report, fire damage?
It's, right now, it's pretty difficult
Okay,
to find accurate.
understand.
We could work on that though.
Okay, just down the road.
Yes, sir.
I know
It
it's
has,
a work in
it has not
progress.
changed since the February report. It's still at $750.
I'm sure if there's anything major, you're gonna
Yes,
let us
sir.
know anyway.
Absolutely.
Looks like you're doing a lot of stops at the rec activities.
Yes, sir.
There's a fishing rodeo. Kids might wanna, when they don't catch a fish for 5 minutes, they might wanna climb up the fire truck.
I'll add that to the list.
If you can.
We enjoy getting out and interacting with the community.
We'll add 1 rod per firefighter.
Okay. I'll make sure they know.
Anybody else have any questions for Chief Holmes? He's been the chief for a very short period of time, but boy, did he hit the ground running. And he's at a gallop right now. So thank you for everything that you're doing and in the middle of.
My pleasure.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the fire chief's report.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to committees. Go to the library board, Mr. Weinhofer.
Thank you so much. So the library report, I guess the big highlight, we were looking to upgrade the computers over at the library. We had a rather lengthy discussion around cost. We were initially going to replace 4, keeping the 5th older computer in place. Took that back to the IT company that we deal with, and we were able to replace all 5, which is now we had budgeted for 4. So we will be getting 5 new computers at the library, keeping all of the numbers of terminals the same. That was really the highlight of the report.
Very good. Any questions?
You know what happens to those old computers?
So I believe they're just gonna go back with the IT company at this point, so I think that's part of the trade-in credits that we get. So hopefully in the future, we're going to get on a better schedule of turning them in a little bit quicker, so we get a better return when we get them back in.
If those are the same ones that Stratix had looked at one time, and those things are there with the crank telephone. You know, hello Ethel.
Yeah, but one of the things they talked about with it was we weren't sure if people are using the computers less because we have fewer people using them, or if people are using them less because they are just that slow at this point in time to be able to move on. So hopefully we get some more engagement through those servers.
Good. Entertain a motion to accept the library report.
So moved.
Motion is second. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to infrastructure, Mr. Brunner.
Thank you. The infrastructure committee met on March 19th with a very efficient meeting. Nice. You have the information before you if you weren't there, but some things that need to be brought up in front of the council. First one is under sanitary sewer for the 2021 pump station project on Berkshire Boulevard. And the committee is making a recommendation to council to authorize payment application number 4, the amount of $152,609.40 to PSI Pumping Solutions for the Berkshire Boulevard pump station. I'll make that motion. Second. Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Werner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stengel?
Yes.
Councilmember Marner?
Yes.
Councilmember Mobile?
Yes.
Councilmember Burnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhardt?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay. The next thing under streets. The committee made a recommendation to approve council authorized payments of payment application number 2 in the amount of $70,091.33 to Construction Master Services LLC for the pedestrian bridge that we spoke of earlier. And I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett? Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay, we did talk about the police and admin department study needs. We have for the last 35 months, it feels like, progress may be made. Under Public Works Garage, the committee has made a recommendation to council to approve payment application number 4 in the amount of $107,432.85 to Balton Construction for the public works facility using the Tompkins General Obligation Note. I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
I abstain due to my working for Tompkins Financial.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay, did we do all that right? Did we motion to approve? Okay. The committee is also making a motion to recommend the council to approve payment application number 1 in the amount of $2,925 to accelerated fire protection for the public works facility using the Tompkins General Obligation Note. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion second, let's do roll call on that, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
I will abstain due to my employment with Tompkins Financial.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes.
The only other thing I just want to bring up is, we still have that issue that will come up under my next report that I have to give for the Western Berkshire Authority for that emergency line that's going under the, that is under the Warren Street bypass. So that's all I have. Make a motion that we approve the infrastructure committee meeting minutes.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Moving on to Personnel Committee, Mr. Mogul.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only one motion of coming to council from the Personnel Committee meeting on March 19, 2024. There was another matter that was referred to Finance, but I think it'll be brought up under Finance. So a motion is needed to approve, accept the retirement letter of from Mario Iliano, effective May 1, 2024, to notify insurers of pension, to begin pension calculations effective May 1, not June 1, as it's stated here. And the reason for that is that no one has ever retired on the first of the month. So he begins to collect his benefits on May 1, not June 1. And to prepare a resolution of appreciation for his more than 35 years of service to the borough, I'll make that motion as I amended.
I'm sorry. Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Yeah.
Any questions for personnel? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve. Motion second, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. And moving on to the rec board, Mr. Weinhofer and Mr. McKinley.
Good evening, y'all. Thanks for being here. I'm going to keep mine real short and sweet. I'm going to start with what Councilmember Bruner said at the last meeting about good luck with the egg hunt, and he was absolutely right. I think he's going to cause the nightmare I had the night before, where the bunny suit came alive and started devouring little kids at the event. So needless said, I didn't get much sleep before the event. Some of the highlights from the event, and Fire Chief can kind of attest to this, the number of kids were amazing. There were 450 pre-registered kids. For the first time, we actually recommended pre-registering through Wyomissing Rec. And I can just say there were a lot more than 450 kids there. The event overall went well. Our goal was to be less chaotic, than it was, and from what I talked, conversations with everybody, they felt it was. We definitely learned some more lessons how we can improve next year. Next week, we have stargazing in the park. The Berks County Amateur Astronomy Society will be there again, so that one starts at 8:30 at night. The following day is our Earth Day celebration, and it's shaping up to be really nice right now. We have probably 10 different vendors in the marketplace, in the farmer's market area. We have 9 or 10 different educational opportunities. We have about 10 different kids activities going on. So it's shaping up to be a nice afternoon. One of the neat additions to it is the Penn State watershed folks are coming out to do a macro invertebrate study in the afternoon, which is new. That's geared more toward the teenagers in the community. So we've already received some reservations for that. But we're real excited. We probably have 20 different vendors taking part in this day. Trout fishing rodeo is May 11th. The Memorial Day Parade is May 25th with a rain date of the 27th. I'm working out the details with that. On the financial side, the rentals for the months of March and the first part of April, we had $1,450 worth of rentals. Year to date for the fundraising campaign is $10,250 from contributions. Wyomissing Rec, we've taken in over $22,000 through memberships, activities, and so on for this past 30 days through the swimming lessons, tennis lessons, playground program, and another miscellaneous donation was received a couple of days ago through Wyomissing Rec. So I told you short and sweet, that's about it. Unless you have any questions, the minutes were included from last month's meeting.
Very good. Rick, do you have anything?
Nope, nothing to add.
Very good. Questions from anyone? Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the rec board's report.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the Fire and Police Committee report, which met on March the 25th. It was probably one of the longest but most aggressive meetings we've had in quite some time. Mostly self-explanatory, but a couple highlighted issues. Chief Holmes had shared that the fire department had a clinical save on March the 1st of 2024, which several firefighters have been invited to a trauma survivors reunification event at the Reading Hospital. So I think that's commendable of those firefighters, and it's great that they're going to be able to meet the person that they saved their life. You know, that's, you know, the guys just aren't putting wet stuff on the red stuff. They're out there assisting paramedics with EMT duties and saving lives. Thank you. Okay. Also under the fire department, there's some reorganization going on, if you haven't gathered by now. And so we're gonna go through a couple of motions here and trying to get everyone in positions where they should be. So we're gonna start with motion which I will make to activate the Civil Service Commission for the promotion testing of fire department captain, and that is to replace the chief's former position.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Civil service is going to be busy. The next is, I'll make a motion to to activate the Civil Service Commission for the promotional testing for the fire department technician position contingent upon the results of the current fire department's captain promotional testing. Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, this next motion, we did have a slight clerical, but motion is, which I will make, to approve moving forward with hiring 2 firefighter positions based off the current eligibility list. Once the promotion has been completed, if no candidates remain, the Civil Service Commission will need to be activated to begin the testing process for the entry-level firefighter position. And I will make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. You're getting 2 firefighters.
Just want to make a quick comment on that, the financial side of things. The hiring of the first firefighter was a budgeted item that we've already had in the budget. And the second firefighter the need has been exasperated by someone is out right now, and we're not sure when they're gonna be back. And the overtime that we would be paying for the last 2/3 of the year would equate to almost within a couple $1,000s the amount that we'll be paying that new firefighter. So it should be budget neutral for all those things. So just thought that'd be good to let out there in public.
But provide all the relief to the people who are working.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and cutting your overtime hours for a lot of people. That's correct.
And last, with the fire department, would be that during the committee meeting, the Fire and Police Committee recommended and supported the fire chief with getting more involved in social media with topics such as the hiring, and the fact that Wyomissing has a combination department. Now, for those that may not know what a combination department is, that is, we have paid career firefighters, but we also have volunteer firefighters, okay? Now, volunteer firefighters can go from doing not just fighting fires if they don't feel willing to do that, but they can certainly help with conducting fire prevention activities. So we are always looking for new volunteers to support and help maintain our department. So we're going to be emphasizing that a lot more through social media and through the support of our chief and his staff. And I think it's also important to be brought up under that the borough is currently, and this is going to be on the fire department website, that the fee for, if you were to call an ambulance, okay, for whatever the reason, you will no longer be charged by Western Berks. The borough of Wyomissing has paid membership for every resident in this borough. Okay, and that also goes if you are out in Muhlenberg and something were happening, you would need an ambulance from Muhlenberg, let's say. You tell them you're a member of Western Berks Ambulance, and you will not be charged. And that goes with any other EMS organization. So this is a huge step. We haven't, this is the first year for it. So we want to get that out too. That's just one more thing we're doing for the taxpayers of this borough. And as Chief Holmes stated, indicated that his goal is to have more community presence, including participation in the career day. And I think that speaks for what we just saw, his line of activities that he's doing moving forward. So I just wanted to make that part of the verbal report. Okay, moving on. Under Western Berks Ambulance, there were a total of 248 calls for service that Western Berks responded to in the borough. And out of that, Narcan was administered 13 times. I think that's just incredible. We've never had that many times that it's been administered. So it's an unfortunate situation. Okay, moving on to the police department. Chief Phillips had requested, or had received a request for handicap parking at 1651 Delaware Avenue. All the paperwork's appropriate, and I'll go ahead and make that motion that be approved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. Okay. There was some public discussion at last month's meeting regarding the parking situation at 900 block of Hill Avenue. As a result of the public comments, Chief Phillips and the Public Works Department re-examined that situation, and I think they've come up with some positive recommendations that we can get some parking back down there. So on that, from the committee, and I'll make the motion, authorizing the borough solicitor to prepare an ordinance to create 4 parking spaces in the 900 block of Hill Avenue in the vicinity of Reading Avenue. And again, I make that motion. I can't hear you. Yeah, that's further down. Just, yeah.
It's not on the.
Right, we just have to keep moving along. So we have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. See that? We do listen and act. Okay. Chief Phillips also brought to our attention that, and this was discussed before, related to the Wilson School District and their desire to enforce school bus violations. The district is now requesting an agreement with law enforcement. So as a result, and I will make a motion to authorize an intergovernmental agreement with the Wilson School District regarding the school bus violations contingent upon the inclusion of the revisions as noted by the borough solicitors.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now with reference to ordinance number 1442-2024, an ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berkshire County, Pennsylvania, amending the Wyomissing Borough Code of Ordinances to repeal a parking prohibition on Hill Avenue in front of 25 Reading Avenue. And I will make that motion. That we authorize, the advertisement of said ordinance. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, resolution number 2024-17, a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berkshire County, Pennsylvania, authorizing the borough to enter an intergovernmental cooperation agreement with the Wilson School District for the Wyomissing Police Department to review and certify violations of 75 PA CSA subsection 3345 under certain circumstances. And I will make a motion that be approved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Okay, and West Side Emergency Management was also at our meeting, and Mr. Bowsher will be attending numerous training sessions throughout the county this month.
Number 9. That was part of it. Do the resolution.
Yeah, we do that. That's all I have, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the Fire and Police Committee report.
moved.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, thank you. Moving on to Park and Shade Tree Commission, Mrs. Reimer.
Thanks, sir. Park and Shade Tree met on March 27th here at Borough Hall. Lately, we have had the benefit of having face-to-face time with a lot of the people in the Parks Department. We've had Greg and other Greg and Dwayne. They've all been here to give personal accounts on what's going on, which has been nice. We had Lauren Teeter here again to give us an update. If you haven't already filled out the survey that I think Randy sent out, please do that. There's a survey on the parklands and how you use them and what your updates are. or
And that's
thoughts
a public
are.
survey.
That is a public survey for all of Wyomissing, absolutely. Laura and Teeter will also be at Earth Day and the fishing rodeo to give out information on what they're doing with the parklands, what they're studying, what the updates are. Our next meeting is tentatively being advertised and scheduled for May 15th as an on-site meeting of the parklands. If there's rain forecasted, that will be rescheduled to May 22nd, which is our regularly scheduled meeting. If everything goes well, May 15th, and we don't need to meet on the 22nd, that may be canceled if there's no further business to discuss. The only other thing is, Jim Babb said that Spring Township is working on sewer lines, I don't know if everybody knows that, near the area of the duck pond, and the contractors are supposed to make sure that pedestrian traffic is diverted properly while that's happening. And that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, if not, I make a motion to approve.
Any questions? I have one.
Yeah.
A while back, there was some discussion on creating a commemorative park bench program.
Yes, that was before my time, but yes.
Has that been brought up, or is it going to be brought up? 'Cause I think it's a
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be,
great program.
yeah, I mean, we wanna get a report from Flora and Teeter first and see what they have, cause they are looking at bench seating and all of those aspects of the parklands. We can see what's needed and then perhaps how to utilize this commemorative bench
Great.
program.
Very good. Entertain a motion to approve the Park and Recreation Commission report.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to Economic Development, Mr. Mayor.
The Economic Development Committee met on March the 28th. We had a couple of interesting presentations. The State Hill Craft Cocktails and Kitchen. That was for the old timers, the old Citatinos location. Is apparently doing quite well. They purchased the property next door along Wellington Boulevard with the intention of increasing their parking and perhaps eventually increasing the size of the restaurant as well. So we heard their presentation from their engineer, and the owner was on the conference phone call with us. And we had a good discussion, and we wish them well. So the committee has made a motion, which I will ask one of the members of council here to make, that we recommend that the planning commission further review the plan. This isn't
a council motion yet.
What?
This isn't a council motion yet. This isn't on the agenda for council. To send it to the planning commission, so it doesn't need to.
Oh, we don't need to approve it. So the committee has recommended the planning commission take a look at this plan and that the council approve the proposed zoning map amendment to change the use at number 5 Wellington Boulevard, the property next door. So that we do need, nothing, all right, so that's your information at this point in time. The other presentation we had to do with an old favorite subject of ours, the Inn at Reading. It has been purchased by a developer that we have experience with, Mike Germanic, is the gentleman that initiated the Iris Club renovations. It's turned out very well, as we have a witness here. And he's gonna redo the Inn at Reading. It's a very aggressive plan. There'll be some demolitions, some extensive new construction. And we are thrilled to pieces to see that property rejuvenated and come back to life. Otherwise, Michelle updated us on some other properties that we've been discussing over the months. And I think it's safe to say that we have had a lot of very impressive redevelopments in the last 10 or so years, and it's not showing any signs of letting up. So good stuff in the pipeline. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them. Otherwise, I'll ask one of you members of council to recommend that we approve that report.
So, second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Just one comment on that, and I think it's worthwhile knowing that it's great that when we have a developer / owner so supportive of the borough, and the gentleman of the former that now owns, Mike, can't pronounce his last name.
Shervonic.
Okay, he was kind enough to offer his facility for police training and also for fire training, which is something that does not happen often. So before those buildings are renovated, I guess, I don't know if it's still going on or, but I think that's very kind. And if we haven't, we really should send a letter, I think.
Bottom champagne, I think we're good.
You bought him champagne. Times have changed.
From her own,
Yes,
Okay,
from
well,
Mike.
that's great, but I think it's just, you know,
He
what a
understands
great
that.
opportunity we had to have a real building that we could actually do some training in, the commercial building.
He understands how appreciative the borough is, and just as an update, demo permit's gonna be issued this week, so I would expect the A, B, and C buildings to come down next week. Yes,
Beautiful.
there will be a
Great.
collective sigh of happiness.
with the rest of it.
We've already started that, just so you know. The SWAT team and the fire company, it's already started.
It's like a playground.
Absolutely.
Reach those walls. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the Finance Administration Committee, Mr. Brunner.
Okay, the Finance and Admin Committee met on April 4th, 8 a.m. Before I get into the things that need to be worked on tonight or to be decided on tonight, just some updates. We had an audit, and fortunately, like in the past years, we got through it very cleanly. There was one thing that was brought to our attention that we are going to work on how to fix, but due to a, what's the word I'm looking for? Transposition of numbers. The households were charged $2.70 a quarter too much, for a total of $10.80 a year. There's also some numbers for the sewer, thank you. We were given two options. One is to credit a bill in the future or to use those monies for a future sewer project. I think the idea is as long as we can get it through the billing system to refund those funds and give credits to everybody across the board at some point this year. So they'll all be getting the properties, right, based on the properties. So that was the only real finding, and it was just a transposition because I couldn't come up with that word of numbers. The other thing, I'll just talk about the net numbers. Obviously, March, with the beginning of tax season coming in, our revenues were up. But if you look at it for the net numbers, revenues versus expenses, revenues exceed expenditures by $145,193 in the year to net results. which is a positive variance of 169.7 compared to 23, and more importantly, a positive variance of $616,000 to our March 24 year-to-date. Those numbers, again, can all be skewed. Some people may have paid in March instead of April like that in the past, or vice versa. So just from 1,000 feet, looks like we're all good. Some of our expenses were a little bit higher. We did decide to move ahead with the Berkshire Heights and the ADA improvements. We had some sewer and television rehab work done. The Assistant Public Works Director's salary we increased. Public Works truck that wasn't budgeted, but we took it out of the amount that we saved when we budgeted for the road work and the stone house railings, and a chipper box. So that's that. Moving on to what needs to be actionable items tonight. The committee is making a recommendation to approve the council to authorize the business manager to draw on the Tompkins General Obligation Note in the amount of $126,085.56 for the Public Works Garage project for the April management services, architectural and engineering fees, as well as the construction services pending April's council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
I have to abstain due to my employment at Tompkins Financial.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes.
We had a request to give relief on a sewer credit at 50 Berkshire Court due to an external water leak that did not pass through the borough's water system, sewer system, excuse me. Just as a general note, in the past, we have only ever given credit if you can prove that it didn't go through. If you can't prove that it did not go through the sewer system, we will not give you credit. At least that's what we've been in the past. And this is following that motion. So the committee is making a recommendation to authorize that credit for 50 Berkshire Court. I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Oh, roll call. Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes.
The committee is also making a recommendation to approve authorizing a mentorship program between Fire Chief Holmes and Fire Commissioner Renshaw for a one-year time period at the cost of $9,000, and I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, the committee, we discussed for a couple months, the pipe bridge repair under Route 12 that would serve our business district down in, where is that, Michelle, down there, near the Tompkins Creek. And Western Berks is paying $50,000. It is generally just for a certain area. So they had asked us to help them with $50,000. The committee balanced this up, and basically what we've decided is the committee's making a motion to approve payment to Western Berks Water Authority in the amount of $50,000 over 5 years for the Route 12 bridge repair work, with the understanding that if our budget permits more than $10,000 per year, we will accelerate those payments, and I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, and the committee is also recommending the council to approve the borough solicitor to enter his appearance on behalf of the borough for the Reading Hospital's property tax exemption application related to 1650 Penn Avenue. I will gladly make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes.
I would make a recommendation that we approve the finance management committee report.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bruner. Moving on to the Borough Manager's report, Mrs. Bear.
Good evening, council. And the minutes from the Western Berks Water Authority Board meeting were received very early this morning and should have been sent out to all of you. I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve accepting this time extension that the developer for the Boiler House Island project is granting to the borough. That time extension would be effective through October 8th, 2024, and that is to take action on the land development plans.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Respectfully requesting a motion to approve advertising and initiating the hiring process for the Parks Department maintenance position due to retirement within the department.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm also respectfully requesting a motion to approve advertising and initiating the hiring process for the lead mechanic position if no internal candidates apply, and that is due to the lead mechanic taking the lead water sewer position.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion passes.
Respectfully requesting a motion to approve accepting the 2023 audit results and management letter as completed and presented by Herbine and Company during the April 4th Finance and Administration Committee meeting. And this is under my report instead of the committee because the timing of when it was received, it was too late to add it to the agenda for finance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, so approved.
Respectfully requesting a motion to approve adopting resolution number 2024-18 to appoint Glenn Kraft of Kraft Municipal Group Incorporated as the fire code official for the Borough of Wyomissing effective May 1st, 2024, and that would allow him to perform fire safety inspections on behalf of the borough and under the purview of the fire chief.
Someone wish to make that motion?
That's because Spring is refusing to continue.
Correct.
And is this a open-ended agreement? In other words, is it something that
Yes,
is
sir,
terminated?
second will of the council.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution number 2024-18 has been adopted.
And respectfully, I'm requesting a motion to approve my report.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, nice job. Okay, in your packet is the treasurer's statement of operation, including the general fund, the Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, highway aid, refuge and recycling fund, and the road tax fund. And with us tonight is Treasurer Reeser, Mr. Reeser.
Everything actually year-to-date looks pretty good, comparing revenues to budget and expenses to budget year-to-date, everything looks good. Some timing issues, but that's normal. But, everything continues like this, great. Everything looks fine. I have no comments. Mr. Berner ably stated what's going on, so I have no further comments.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's statement of operation.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And then your packet with the accounts payable report of general fund, Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, refuge and recycling fund. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable report.
So moved.
Motion and a second, roll call please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko? Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Mogul?
Yes.
Councilmember Burnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhopper?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes. And that's all for that. Entertain a motion to, oh no, we did that. Okay, all right. Tax collector's report, and Betsy's not here. Anybody have any questions about the tax collector's report?
Motion approved.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Boy, we're moving right along. Okay. I want to thank the public for their patience. We're now at the, towards the end of the meeting, at our public comment, where non-agenda items may be discussed. So, are there any public comments? Please keep in mind, there's a 5-minute time limit, so
Okay,
please state your name and your address.
John Edwards, Warwick Drive, Wyomissing. Recently we noticed that, and if you recall from last year, some of us gathered because we've been having some trouble with speeders going by stop signs, not respecting the laws of 25 miles and being a danger to the neighborhood and the children inside. We also noticed is there someone has been respecting the ordinances and living on dog feces is everywhere.
Someone's walking their dog and not cleaning up after
And it's been going on a lot, even around the elementary center schools.
You a ring cam?
Ring cam? No, but I definitely have a lot of accounts of that. Let's see now. I think that was it.
Okay. Chief, do you wish to address the speeding issue?
I just gave, directed today to get the signs, charged up again, so I wanna put them out starting Monday. I think the weather's finally turning that they're not gonna die after a day. So, we'll get them out there and we'll see what the speeds are like. I told them I want them on Hill Avenue first on the 900 block, because of what we've discussed before with everything over there. So they're gonna go up there first, but I will get them up there.
Are you familiar with the signs we're talking, the electronic speed signs?
Yes.
Okay. They're tough to use in the winter time because there's not enough sunlight to charge the batteries. And so,
They're not solar.
Not solar.
Those are not solar.
Oh, so they're
They just
extreme.
one battery and the cold weather kills those batteries.
Okay. But they are gonna be up and operational soon, so hopefully that acts as a deterrent.
But
The-
does that actually record or any speedsters that don't follow that?
It records the speeds that vehicles are traveling there. And
But does it actually record the individual person?
No. In Pennsylvania, where they use radar to determine the speeds, and the legislature in Pennsylvania does not allow municipal police to use radar to enforce speed violations. So it's an informative tool for us, so we can get an idea of what people are actually doing over there. So
Okay.
it can help us set up, it'll give us the time that the speeds are, so if we see at a certain time that there's people that are violating it, it'll give us the ability to know, hey, we gotta go over there and check at that time. But we can't issue any citations based upon the
Okay.
information that those signs receive.
Mostly, I've noticed that this happens as like right around when everyone gets home, on like around 5 o'clock, and also like during the day when everyone's at work.
Okay. Like I said, it'll tell us the reports when the speeds, when the cars are going by and their speed and everything, so.
There's also been some cases right on, I have this on my notes. As on the Winger and Mayfair intersection, and people use it as a racetrack.
There's been, we've had, I don't know if you ever look at our calls that I put on the website every day, but you may notice that we've had a couple stops over there in the very recent
Oh, yeah.
past.
We
So-
noticed that yesterday in front.
So they're there doing the stuff,
Yeah.
so we'll get an idea of what it is, like I said, but I'm gonna put them up on Hill Avenue first, but we'll get them over there,
Alright.
okay?
And what about the other?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Jeff.
my name is Michael Fitzgerald, I'm a resident. I'm also on the rec board. However, my appearance here tonight is in association with Lawrence Foundation, which is a nonprofit I have run for the last, going on 20 years in memory of my daughter. We are the ones responsible for the Fitzy's Run event that occurs every year around Halloween. I'd like to pass out something I'm referencing, so if you'd send those down, I'd appreciate it. At our last rec board meeting, I knew that there were repairs and renovations happening at the Stone House, and I checked in with Randy to find out what that status was, and as of last month, and the information available at that time, it looked like everything was a go for our run. Last week, Michelle contacted me to let me know that there were some delays or something different happened with the bidding process where things have been delayed and now the contractor has to the end of the year, and that we would not be able to hold our run in the borough. From a personal level, I can't tell you how disappointing that is. We've done this for 19 years. This year would be our 20th anniversary. And I know this is not a big thing, maybe for the borough and the kinds of money that you have to control and manage, and yet a couple things I wanted to call your attention to is that we've tried to be a good partner with the borough with respect to what we've done. This report kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. The inside page on the left with the pie graph, total giving to date. Number 5, local children's programs, $26,500. The entirety of that amount has been donated to the Wyomissing Borough over the years to support children's programs, to support the police efforts, and that is something that we've only been able to do because we've been able to hold this event. Under the section marked our 2023 giving, the $4,000 for community programs, once again, went entirely to Wyomissing. So what I'm asking, I guess, is while we don't have control over construction deadlines and renovation projects, that we look for some alternative that would allow us to run this again on the 20th year. We're willing to reimburse for any expenses the borough would incur. The traditional setup at the Stone House very well may not work, but I had an idea walking down here. I guess I'm just having difficulty not believing that there's not some other option we can come up with. You know, it's not going to be the same to try to hold it somewhere else. I don't know if we even have time to pull that together. But the fact is, my daughter was a lifelong Wyomissing resident. She went to Wyomissing schools. I've been here for 30 years. So I'm just asking if there's some way that we can revisit this and try to make this event happen. Based on the assumption it was going forward, we've committed to our race timing company, we've committed to having brochures printed, and we've already incurred some expenses along with this. And I would just ask, humbly that we try to uncover some other possibilities and see if there's a way we can conduct this that will not interfere with the construction projects and still allow us to hold our event. Thank you.
Thank you. While you have been very supportive of this community, and we understand how long this run has taken place, the unfortunate situation is when we made this decision, we had to think of all of the different programs, okay, that were brought to us. And to say that, well, you might be able to do it, but we don't know if you will, depending. It's a liability issue, during construction phases. So that's why we made the decision that we couldn't do it this year for any, and we hope that everyone who's used our park system for these events in the past will continue to do so in 2025. Anyone else wish to make a comment on this?
Man, I feel like they're, with the partner we've had for him and the longevity here, obviously not doing it at the Stone House, is there another place we can start the run from that we could potentially look to?
We looked into the quarry lot, which is the only option that does not require any police department manning. Keep in mind, we lease that to the soccer club who has a tournament that weekend. We do not, staff-wise, feel it is fair to ask the soccer tournament, who has first rights to that field, to find another location for their tournament that they've already advertised. And, in talking to the chief about this, our intention was to treat everyone the same. We've said no to the I'm Able Foundation, we've said no to multiple other requesters for permits. To treat someone differently, I think we're now setting ourselves up for a problem.
To the extent that the Stonehouse Park directly is involved, I realize that we would probably have to stage the run in another area. And
I just think we've told everybody else that because of the improvements that are going to take place, that we just can't do it for anyone. So we can't just say, okay, well, we'll let you do it now. And as Michelle said, and then we're going to have other organizations coming to us and, well, you let him, but you didn't let us. So.
And this is also why I brought this up months ago, that I thought this was going to be an issue for the event this year. knowing that this project was going on, I mean, we've been talking about this for months, about,
Right, but as of last month, it was happening as far as we knew at the time. I know
those,
things
those
changed.
words didn't come out of my mouth,
No.
no.
Well, I know there were changes in the bid process
These
and all that.
were, it had nothing to do with the bidding, it was when we made that decision, which was several months ago.
Are there any connections you can make from it with like another local borough that may have the space?
I offered that and,
Yeah.
or, you know, to look at doing a location outside of the
Yeah.
borough.
Is there a
But that's
date
not our
beyond-
call.
Is there a date beyond the construction that would,
I guess the bid is for completion by December 31.
December?
There was a,
December 31st
May,
of 20,
December?
so keep in mind, we're only awarding the project in May. Till they mobilize and get out there, it'll be the beginning of June. They can't touch anything near the stone house until after the 4th of July, and that's assuming there's no rain, that all of the equipment comes in when it's supposed to. I'm not going to say, yes, you can do this, and he's banking on his marketing materials going out when our bid docs clearly say completion date is December 31st.
we don't need the stone house structure to conduct our run. What we need is the parklands. That would be
See,
sufficient,
that's, you
right?
can't, that's gonna be the issue also, because that's gonna be under construction. Sorry, sir, can't do it this year. Again, thank you for your support through all these years. Okay, are there any other public comments on non-agenda items? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And second? Motion and second, all those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you, one and all.